Please post another screenshot of your movie A24. This is all I've seen for months. Darren Aronofsky has been trying to make this film for about a decade now. The main problem was who to cast as the 600-pound man. When it finally clicked to be Brendan Fraser, the film started production. Aronofsky has had a very odd run of movies as of late. It's been about a decade since his last masterpiece, Black Swan. Following Black Swan, we go from Noah, which is a huge stinker, Mother, which I have very mixed feelings about, and then this, The Whale. This is just such an odd entry for me. Shot close in 1:1 aspect ratio. Based on a playwright by Samuel Hunter, this seems to be the least showy film in quite some time by Aronofsky. The Whale is shot almost entirely in this dark, depressing apartment. Sometimes we go out to the porch and maybe there's a flashback shown, but yeah, we get a few rooms in a dark apartment and that's the entire scope of this film. It's a much more grounded film than his recent installments, but this film leaves me very conflicted. This film is about a 600-pound man named Charlie, who is trying to reconnect with his daughter after abandoning his family when she was 8 years old. While this is going on, Charlie is given a death timer of about a week if he doesn't change anything in his life. The reviews had me scared for this movie, and I came into this already kinda hating it. It's not because it's fat-phobic or anything, but the scenes being described were so surface level. There was no way these scenes were in the original play, and after watching the movie, I share similar feelings. There are two movies within this movie. The original playwright, and then some additional stuff added for movie adaptation. I understand adapting a play into a movie can be a difficult task, but there are very clear drop-offs in certain scenes where you know it wasn't part of the original play. The highs of this film are easily the scenes where the actors flourish because the script isn't the greatest. The scenes that are ripped for the play actually play out the best for the film. I'm very sad to report that people's suspicions are true. Some of this movie is just, look at this fat guy. Him looking at granola and frowning, then looking at candy and smiling, like, are you serious? We see Charlie drown a piece of pizza in mayo and eat it in like 2 bites. In the same scene, he makes a chip sandwich. Like, I understand he's 600 pounds, I understand he had to overeat to get to this point. I just feel like there are better ways to demonstrate the struggles Charlie is dealing with. I'm personally able to look past these silly moments, but I truly understand if you can't. I like to give Aronofsky some props because performance-based movies do require direction, and that's just about the only good part of this film. The performances across the board are all making me feel a collective heartbreak. Doesn't matter how many times I hear the flat, surface-level, empty lines from Fraser, Chau, and Sink. They sell the hell out of it. Doesn't matter how many times I hear Brendan Fraser say, "People are amazing." I still love every second he's on the screen as a human being. Yes, I do think this performance is Oscar-worthy, but he's not quite my pick for this circuit. If I'm gonna die on the hill of a nomination from this movie, it's gonna be Chau. She was the only character that I felt like was actually a human and had depth. She has to balance her feelings for her brother, her good friend, enabling Charlie while also taking care of him. And Chau convinced me of her pain. She's quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses in the space. Sadie Sink is pretty much as unlovable a child can be. She's given probably the worst lines from the script and it is not subtle whatsoever. She does the best she can. I just hate how one-dimensional all these characters really feel. Darren uses score and sound cues well in his filmography, and this film is no exception. That's pretty much all the positives I have for this film. His films usually stick with you, and The Whale was one of those more forgettable entries by someone who's given us a lot of necessary films. This film doesn't feel very Aronofsky at all, and nothing from The Whale separates itself from the pack. I have to spoil the ending because I laughed my ass off, so here we go. The climax of this movie is that there is a paramedic waiting downstairs. He's at the end of his life, and he uses all of his energy to stand up and walk to his daughter at the door. The film ends looking at his feet, and he starts flying. His feet come off the ground, and he starts levitating. I get it too, you want this grand ending, and it's not like I care because it's not grounded. I love the ending to Birdman and other films that don't stay within the box they created. He flies, and it shows a quick flashback from his life from a better time, and it's supposed to symbolize how he's accepted himself and how he feels absolutely no shame. I'm sorry, this ending feels so unearned and has no merit to it. I just felt nothing. There just gotta be better ways to end this movie and have that powerful ending that you want, Aronofsky. And this feels like a missed opportunity for me because in the medium of film, you have more to work with than a play. Use the aspects to film that you can't use in a play to actually explore a better ending. I'll give this like a 6 out of 10, but I can see why somebody would absolutely hate this. Good night.